Why do I have that watch already set up? Is that the title? Mirror your video, mute microphone, support nonprofit settings. Does it really say the same old? Okay, well, it's not. We're not talking about GCU today. Sorry about that. I'm talking about what's happening in the city of Phoenix. I'm talking about what's happening in the city of Phoenix. Basically, there's a lot of things happening. I'm posting all over the place. It's hard to keep up. Right now, the vice mayor's office has been responding to me on social media, and I'm talking to them, or I'm trying to talk to them about these bus stops that are disappearing on Van Buren. The bus stops are back. So I just wanted to let people know, I've just posted a post that both of the bus stops that I noticed missing are back. The initial disappearance of the bus stops happened like 3 or 4 days ago. They just disappeared overnight. No signage, no notice, literally nothing. This is what happened with the other bus stop that disappeared on 15th Avenue in Fillmore, which is something I've been documenting for a very long time, which they just ripped that bus stop out, left it gone for 8 months, and then replaced it with a smaller version. So there's a lot of things happening in downtown Phoenix right now. The water hose situation was happening. That's actually finally been fixed as well. So I'm just kind of like popping on here, seeing if anybody wants to talk about any of these things, answer some questions. The city of Phoenix that I've been pressuring, specifically District 7's offices, with what's happening, and they're replying to me and just being pretend, oh, we can't do anything if you don't email us. We can't do anything if you don't email us. But that's blatantly false. Thanks to community pressuring them, the hose situation has been fixed finally at the Human Services campus. They moved the bin away from the guards, so now the guards don't cut it anymore. They can't cut. What was that? The guards can't cut like the hoses off anymore because they literally moved the box away from them. So that's a nice win. The water hose access has been on finally since I last complained about it and they moved it. Like, I've been checking up every day. I'm losing my housing over this situation. On my front area right next to the sidewalk, I have a water station where I maintain it with cold waters all day. This is literally life-saving. I'm not removing it. Do I need any bodies or extra hands? Have a day free. Right now, the biggest need for volunteers, because my partner, Sophia, the person who runs the account known as Unsheltered Phoenix, she is the one who's organizing the volunteers for the ice. And so I'm not sure who she has, but right now we're covered for the next few days. But my friend, our nonprofit partner, Chronically Herbal, if you're not following them on this app, they are running a whole ass like heat relief center. I mean, it's not a real heat relief center because it's their house with the pantry, but they need volunteers. So if you're not following Chronically Herbal, please follow them. They're actually actively in the hospital right now because they've overdone it. They have a lot of their own disabilities and medical issues, and they're in the hospital because they overworked themselves trying to maintain their pantry. So they need help. They're a little bit closer to Maryville. Right now, I'm not doing anything that needs hands. I'm literally losing my housing for maintaining water, which is something I can do. I have a freezer right here, and I can walk outside and put water in it. And I don't show faces, guys, but I have people walking up literally all day to get the water. And that's why I'm losing my housing, because my neighbor doesn't want to see the people that are experiencing unsheltered living conditions on the street. But like, sorry, bro, we live 2 fucking streets away from the encampment. It's gonna happen. All right, let me catch up with what's people have said. So I don't personally need volunteers right this second. I will post when I do. It's like right now, since I'm losing my housing, we're just doing the ice. I'm committed to doing the ice as long as I'm getting in the funds. I'm doing ice every day. I haven't been posting it as much because like this fight with the bus stops, this fight with the housing, I've been distracted, but we are still literally passing out ice every day because we've gotten in the money. The funds are kind of low right now. I think I only have it today. We have enough. Tomorrow we have enough. But like, so if you have people that with cash, tell them to give to Radical Community Care for ice. Let's see. What else? Any letters that I need written? I don't know. See, the problem is with me personally, I am a disabled veteran. I have my medical stuff is in appeals. So I have been in appeal for over a year at this point. If you guys have any sway with the VA, I have got so many people poking the VA. I'm speaking to somebody tomorrow specifically to expedite my appeal, which is we'll talk about that another time. So the appeal would help me. That's the only thing I could maybe use a letter written. But the problem is that with me yelling at every politician I can, they're not probably likely to help me as much. So like I need to rely more on the community. So the thing is, I'm not really worried about my disability thing. It's all documented. That's the thing, is I have everything documented. I've been fighting it. It's just taking forever. And that's like something I need to talk about at some point, is that people who don't have capacity to fight for themselves, to advocate for themselves, to fight for over a year, don't get this far. So Unsheltered Phoenix, dropping this here for copy and paste. What was the second one? So Unsheltered Phoenix is my partner's organization. Me and Chronically Herbal and my partner, Sophia, who runs Unsheltered Phoenix, have a nonprofit together called Radical Community Care. We just made that basically because people kept saying, do you have a nonprofit so I can give you money? And I was like, no, but now I do. So I do have a nonprofit. It's not like an official nonprofit. Nobody gets paid. It's literally for people to send money if they need to for the tax reasons. And then we do receipts for the ICE, and like, there's like a form, there's a thing that I track. So anyways, that's what we do. That we're still like Chronically Herbals over in Maryville. I barely see them, especially in the summertime, because I'm doing shit in downtown Phoenix, and they're running their whole ass pantry and heat relief station at their house. Like if you are not following them, you think I'm doing a lot, they're doing more. So go check them out. Chronically Herbal. Yeah, bureaucracy is terrible. And what's happening here is so tragic. But like, so the two bus stops that I noticed getting ripped out again, this time my account has had enough people watching it that enough people put pressure, because I wanted to talk to you guys about this. The city of Phoenix right now is saying, oh, the bus stops are being refurbished. You need to send us an email. It's in my videos. I know I post a lot. You can go to the Instagram. I post a little bit less on there. You can probably scroll down and find me talking about 15th Avenue in Fillmore. This is a bus stop that's right next to Buster's Market in downtown Phoenix. A lot of people who are unsheltered have died there, have like literally just passed away. And the city's response to that is to remove the bus stop. Now, I hate to tell you guys, but removing the bus stop just made people die in the alley right next to Buster's, up the street a little bit. And instead of like right at the bus stop, they're just dying a little bit around, because they're still dying right there. It didn't change anything, and it made it worse for everybody. Like, I have documentation of that bus stop when it got ripped out, and there's people in fucking like, so that street is like a central hub for everybody that's getting services down at Cass. So, you know, you're going to see people in wheelchairs sitting at the bus stop that doesn't fucking exist, waiting for the bus. Like, I don't know if these people are unsheltered or not, but it doesn't fucking matter. There's people that are trying to use a bus stop for 8 months that just fucking wasn't there. And they replaced it with a smaller version. And this is this is part of their program that they're saying that they're improving bus stops. What they're doing is they're taking those the big nice ones that had shade and a nice long bench, and then extra space for people with wheelchairs to sit in shade, getting rid of those, replacing it with half of that, and then they got the chairs or the bench with the pole in the middle. That's what they're doing. That's what happened at the Buster's thing. And it's like, it's so dumb. And it's just like, what did it do? Now I just see a person in that little half bus stop curled up underneath the seat in a little bit of shade. So now there's less people taking shelter there. That's literally it. Now they're dying in the alley next to it. And it's so pointless and worthless and such a waste of our money. We are paying taxes for it. Like, if you Google this, there's only one article about it. I think it's AZ News Family. I don't even like to talk about it because the whole article is just peppered with unsheltered anger and blaming the people. It costs like $500, according to their reporting. It costs $500 to remove a bus stop, and that we're paying, and then paying more to put these bullshit versions that are less friendly for folks that are disabled. And that's what we're seeing. A lot of the people that are dying right now are just people who are more disabled than others. Like, literally, the heat suppresses, just messes up your system. There's nowhere to be. People get criminalized out of the park. The parks close sometimes. It's like, wow. And now they're pretending, oh, it's all part of the plan. It's part of refurbishment. And the vice mayor's office is right now saying, that's parks and rec, and that's the transportation. It's not us. They're doing that little, like, did you see on Sheltered Phoenix? They put it, the little Spider-Man meme. They're like, no, y'all are in charge. And I did go through the proper channels. When I moved here 2 years ago, I was up in the little emails with the fucking vice mayor. Not a vice mayor then, just District 7. I was up in her emails with their staff. I was up on the phone. I have proof. People who have been following me for 2 years have seen me calling the city saying, where's the bus stop? Now y'all sad that I got a bigger account because I've been consistently screaming for 2 years and you cannot ignore the bodies anymore. I'm so infuriated. Okay, I'm going to scroll up. All right. Bureaucracy, it's happening, it's tragic. The audacity of people to be upset. We're needing water 100. And like, guys, I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm going to put out a public post at some point, but I don't understand how people don't know that I am a walking documentation because I have been harmed so much by the systems that I document everything. I have proof of the neighbor who put in the complaints lying, saying that there are homeless people on the property and then telling me it's because he saw people pouring water on himself. And then the landlord's telling me there's no homeless people allowed on the property. I'm like, who? Silence. Absolutely not. I would rather lose my housing. Y'all can't scare me. Like I told you, like if I actually end up in the streets, I'm going to be at Yasmin's doorstep. I'm going to find places for my pets. And then I'm going to be at Yasmin's doorstep in her little ivory tower. I'm going to be like, now I'm going to be even more of your problem. It's like, I'm not going away. And oh, by the way, if I unalive in some kind of shady manner, I want a violent revolution. Don't put me on a mural. Get revenge, y'all. I'm not going quietly into this night. I'm scrolling. Ugh. For lack of a better analogy, it's like mowing over an anthill and being surprised 3 others appear, pretty much. And that's what they're doing. So right now in the zone, what's happened, if you've been paying attention, they're getting sued by a lot of the business owners down there. Right now, all the sweeps that have occurred, because they had to get everybody out by July. I don't remember what time. I don't know. They're being sued. They had a deadline. So they swept everybody off of those business properties. And now those people are in the neighborhoods. So like people are getting really frustrated. And I keep saying people like, what about my children? What about me? I want to stand at the bus stop. It's like, you can't blame the people that have nowhere else to go. You cannot. Well, what about them? They're doing drugs. There's so much education out there. Harm reduction saves lives. You're speaking to somebody that I'm an alcoholic. I've been sober for 7 or 8 years. I've been sober for a minute, but like, I know, like people who have gone through this through addiction understand that without like proper, like support systems, which I had, you don't get better. From the time I admitted that I was an alcoholic to the time I got sober, it was 3 years of hard going through some stuff, and I had housing the entire time. I had a safety net the entire time. That's why I got better. We're expecting people with so many issues. And then I don't know what people understand or what they don't. But look, a lot of people that are out there that are disabled veterans, there's a huge jump in pay. All right, a 90% disabled veteran to 100% is a 90% disabled veteran gets like $1,900. A fully disabled veteran, like 1,000, gets $3,600. It's huge. Everybody else under 90 gets like this thing. So I want you to imagine every 90% and under disabled veteran, and then anybody else who's on any other kind of disability, that is not enough to make rent right now. People can't get housing unless like they're being allowed to get in, like cohabitate. And a lot of places don't want more than 4 people. So what's ending up happening is people with these fixed incomes are ending up on the streets. And then people are surprised that they're doing blues, which are like $1 a pill. $1 a pill, y'all. That shit's cheap right now. $1 a pill. So $20 a day and you're good to go. You know, it's like if you're getting disability, you're getting that. And then people are surprised people are drinking themselves to death or whatever flavor of like relief that they're choosing to do. What else? They got to bootstrap themselves. Like they're 90% disabled. Are you kidding me? If I end up out there, I know that it's going to be my death sentence. I'm going to find places. I mean, obviously, I don't think it's going to happen because I have resources and I know that. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm losing my housing and I went through this because I know that I will be okay. I do encourage anybody who owns a home, put a fucking water cooler out there. If you get a fine, contact Unshelter Phoenix. We will pay those fines. Like, my landlord never had a conversation with me. He said, get the homeless people off the property. I'm like, who? What homeless people? Am I not, like, my brother that I have over sometimes? Am I a loud guest? Who are you talking about? And no response. It's just crazy. It's all very intentional. Yeah, there's the drug, the blues are getting cheaper. Honestly, I wish I had time to like look up the stuff, but I would not be surprised if they're intentionally that cheap to get rid of people. I've heard a lot of stories of these pills just magically appearing sometimes on corners, and I honestly, at this point, I believe it. I do. It is only relief from misery. It's like you honestly expect people like who haven't been able to get into housing. Like there was a gentleman, the last time I went to one of the sweeps that I put on here, there was an older black gentleman who was like, "Hey, what's like?" He was asking me. He's like, "What's the like? How do I get housing? I've been on a waiting list forever, and some people here just get it." It's like there's no rhyme or reason. They tell everybody whatever they want. Public pressure works. I haven't really even gone into it. The last time I was at a sweep there was a disabled veteran there who I was trying to help get some of his stuff because his health was poor. So he's like, I'm finally going to have to go take the shelter. He doesn't want to take the shelter, but he's like, I don't feel good. I got to. So we're taking some of his things, and they told me to leave. And during that process, I'm not leaving. And they singled me out because they know who I am. They know that I'm fucking recording them. They don't want to be documented. And like, I screamed at them. I was like, get the fuck away from me. You're intimidating. I had my back against these poles and chains, and the guard's just approaching me. And then the guy, my friend, he starts yelling at them too, because it's like they're approaching him, and he is not well. He had a seizure right after he started yelling. He had to sit down, and after that, they helped us. Like, why do we have to scream at you? Why do I have to help? Like, I was there before anybody else showed up. I was there when the city worker showed up before you guys blocked off the street. Like, you guys just can't fucking do that. Like, I'm trying to help people and you're singling me out. And then you're like, it's your fault. Nah, fuck you. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is not my fault. None of this is my fault. This is your failure as a government. And I'm trying to do what I can to help the people. Literally. And that's what they think. They don't see them as people. The person some people whose names I don't know. I've known so many people that have passed away that I just know them as like yelling guy or whatever they were wearing. And I hold them here. And they don't give a shit about those people. And the ones I do know, the ones I had personal relationships with, Steve, and I'm carrying that with me. And that's like that's people that we could have helped, that society has thrown away. Absolutely not. I was one of them. Absolutely not. There's value in people even when they're at their worst. Get out of here. Get out of here with all these fucking things, man. Right now, if anybody's paying attention, a lot of the downtown areas are not giving out ice and water. You'll hear people say that it's a law. It's not the law. I think it's actually the law in California somewhere, but it's not a law in Arizona. Businesses do not have to give out ice and water. All of the Circle K's you're going to see, their ice machines don't work. So if you own your home, or if you trust your landlord, or if you're up to shenanigans, just put a fucking water station out there. Water should be a human right. Honestly, I'm hoping that one of these senators that are like following me, like go and push it up, that mutual aid resources should not be fucking criminalized. It's not blight. That's not blight. That shit across the street where they ripped out a goddamn staircase so people wouldn't squat in a building, that's blight. That's been there for fucking ever. I'm surprised somebody hasn't lit that shit on fire. Well, it's because it's summer. It would be on fire already for warmth otherwise. It's crazy what we're doing. Anyways, the bus stops are back. So yay, community win. That was extreme pressure. And that's because now there's more people that are going, is that a body outside? And then they start trying to look for answers, and they see that the government is literally hiding the deaths. They're not going to release them until the end of the summer. They're buying refrigerated freaking things for more bodies. The news is actually starting to pick it up because it's just being it's more, I guess, trendy. But I want you guys to consider that every single person out there is a person just like me. So if you like me, like, that's somebody that could have been just like me. They just needed a little fucking help. They needed more help. I don't know what anybody knows about the veteran system, but that shit is fucking hard. Oh my God. It has been an ongoing fight, and I am semi-capable of like advocating for myself, and it has been a goddamn wall the entire way. And I have support. I have friends. I don't have any biological family because I don't talk to them anymore because they're all terrible. But like, I have the support that I need to continue onwards. And a lot of people don't, especially in this society, because we love individualism, and a lot of people aren't vibing with their family. So they get cut off from their support things because, you know, they're gay, they're trans, whatever. And their family's like, ah, fuck you. So it's like, that's what's ending up. Like, a lot of people outside are just, they're often disabled, often a person of color, and often gay or trans or something. It's like, and that's the thing, is all these other organizations is like, if we're not helping the people that are on the street first, we're not helping each other. Please give water. And like, if people are always like, you know, it's like, what about them doing drugs and stuff? And it's like, you have to just have compassion. Obviously, don't go into situations that you feel uncomfortable. I'm not gonna tell you like to walk up to a big scary person if you're a little person. Just, you know, treat people like humans. If you have an issue, get away from them. Like, I don't know. It's like, I have more issues with people that are housed than anybody that I've ever helped outside. I don't even tell you guys half the things I see. Like, if anybody's watching my stories on Instagram, you'll get more of it. But like, there are consistent people that I'm aware of. There's a woman who screams, like, I don't know much about her, but she's constantly screaming. She walks screaming up and down the road. Everybody else knows who she is. And when I say the screaming woman, they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, that's like, why are people screaming in the street? Why don't we have the care that's adequate for them? And they'll be like, it's because they don't accept it. It's because the care is not for them. It's not for them. And we need to do better as a society. Like, what the fuck? Absolutely not. And I'm not blaming that screaming person. That screaming person needs help, and I don't know what the fuck it is, but it needs to come out of that $1 billion police budget. God damn. Anyways, this is me just venting to you guys because, like, I don't know what else to do. I'll start going live sometimes. Like, I'm losing my housing. My neighbor with the green grass is lying to my landlord. My landlord doesn't want to be bothered. If you own property, talk to me. I have some money I can pay. Don't send me any listings. I am working with a realtor already. And I'm going to keep fighting this. I spoke with ABC 15. Like, I'm sure long-term followers have seen me say I will never speak to media again. I don't know what else to do. I gave them a fluff piece of, I'm a disabled veteran getting kicked out of my housing and everybody's dying on the sidewalk, so we'll see what happens. The public pressure work, the bus stops are back. I wish there was some way to know exactly which ones they're ripping out. So if anybody sees more bus stops like missing in their neighborhood, please let me know. Let's see. Jen was said that they were unhoused and used substances, and Jen is housed now and doing better. So it's just like, a lot of people forget that there's human beings, and like, I don't want to say like they have potential or anything. Like, you don't need to be like housed or good or well to have potential. It's just like, they're just fucking human beings. Like, we just need to help each other. Like, shit would be so much fucking better. And like, Sophia doesn't talk enough about, like, Sophia's gotten punched in the face by somebody who's now like one of our friends. It's like, shit happens. I'm not saying allow yourself to get punched in the face, but it's like, shit happens. We have to help each other, and we have to be understanding. Are they still doing indigent burials on the west side out by the White Tanks? Yes, that's where they're still doing burials at the White Tanks. I hope you find something. I'm so sad what's happening to our Phoenix natives. Yeah, it's so bad, and a lot of people I don't think realize that the majority of people that are out here are like Native American and black and brown. Not a lot of white people. And of course, that's the systemic issues. Once again, when the majority population is white, it should be mostly white people, but it's not. I've seen so much out here. It's so bad. All right. That's it. I'm wrapping up. So the bus stops are back. The water is currently on. It's away from the guards. People get to use it as they see fit. What we needed from the first place. Public pressure is working. I thank each and every one of you who actually has the time and compunction to sit down and try it, because I used to do it. I used to do it 2 or 3 years ago, but I lose my patience very quickly because I don't want to beat my head against the wall. So I think when lots of people are willing to do that is when they start paying attention. All right. I think that's it. I've said all right 1 billion times. I have to start thinking about packing and ice today. So have a good one, y'all. I think I finally learned how to turn this off.